chicken out and make her name it gay.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing the movie. There's one scene that sticks out, and it probably sticks out for everybody, which is that, have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
G'day guys and welcome back to Casual Rage. Prepare to start the show, R2. This is where the fun begins. Hello everyone and welcome to Casual Rage 216, where we casually rage out about the topics of the week. We made it. We're finally here. Sorry about last week. I had to obviously cancel last week's stream. End of financial year. I had to duck into work. There was a lot going on, but I had a really good month. So I had to make sure that happened. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for all coming back. It's hard to believe that we're 216 shows in. And when you consider we do this show once a week, how long that's actually been, and then the shows that we've missed in between them, we've been doing this a long time. And I see a lot of familiar faces always coming back, always showing up. And I thank you all very, very much. Obviously the members as well. You guys are absolutely great. So thank you. I appreciate it. We've got a fair bit to actually go over. The funny thing is that there isn't a lot of Star Wars news. We are going to talk a little bit about Superman, Fantastic Four. It's sort of been that kind of show for the last, 3 weeks at least now, I think. Where we've sort of just gone over the same things, but each week as we're getting closer. And I realized actually last week, I kind of the week before I stuffed up. I thought that the release of these movies was going to be Superman, Fantastic Four, and then Jurassic Park. And I believe I've got to make a correction. Jurassic Park or Jurassic World is first, which doesn't bold. Like when I was talking about it a couple of weeks ago, I was sort of saying like Superman will have a good sort of opening, weekend and probably a good week. And this is just my predictions. I'm I don't usually even follow like box office stuff. Like I pay attention, and obviously with the channels that I watch and listen to and everything, there is a bit of attention on how they perform. But I'm not usually one for that. But I remember saying like Superman was going to be okay for its sort of opening week, and that's really going to depend on the word of mouth. If the people come out of that and say that it's really, really, really good, a lot of people will then go and see it. But I do feel like, especially in the current culture that we're in right now, a lot of people wait. A lot of people, they see the promotion. Now, if they've been watching the same promotional stuff as we have, it's not boding well for any of them. I haven't seen anything for Jurassic World either, which is quite surprising. But then Fantastic Four was going to come out, and I thought that might take a little bit away from Superman, but I don't think that that's going to even perform very well opening weekend with how they've been promoting that. I could be wrong. But then I thought that Jurassic World came out after that, and I thought that Jurassic World would just take over. But Jurassic World's coming out first. Jurassic World is coming out first. And we will say hello to the chat, so... July 2nd, it's already out. It's already out. This weekend is its opening weekend. July 2nd, that's Wednesday. So, oh man, they keep trying to stretch these weekends to make them as long weekends as possible. Soon, opening weekend will be 7 days. Just so they can pad the numbers. Let's go through and quickly say hello to the chat before we do crack right into all of the stuff that we got to talk about. We got Jordan Star Wars. How you doing? Yes, force choke that like button and share the stream out on all your social media. We got Tillium in the chat. How you doing? Good to see you. Star Wars Marvel Purist also asking everyone to force choke that like button. So you better fucking force choke that like button. We got Mike Hill for his 43-month member chat. Thank you, Mike. Again, long-time supporter, always sending me basically nearly everything that you see every week. I think I've said this before. Pretty much comes from him. He's my research guy. He says, "Hail, Rhino. Now there's a rumor going around that Disney wants to reboot Indiana Jones. They already ruined him, so just go ahead with it." I have heard this. I only just heard it today, actually. Indiana Jones, I find it funny when some people out there, they sort of say they just need to let these things go, like leave it. Just let it rest for 5 years or let it rest for 10 years and then bring it back. The thing is with it, they could do stuff with these IPs right now. Good stuff. But instead of doing the good stuff with them, they've turned them into these activist platforms, and it's got nothing to do with the storytelling anymore. It's got nothing to do with making art. It's got nothing to do with any of those sort of elements anymore. Even the actors. I was actually thinking about Ironheart, right? And these actors are reading these scripts thinking this is really fucking good. Why? Because they're brainwashed into the idea that they've got to push you can see yourself on the screen or whatever the case may be. Now, and the problem with doing that is that the story then is sacrificed on the altar of identity politics. It's mind-blowing to see how much, and it's the biggest studios. You got some movies and shows out there that are actually being told that are actually really good. And most of them aren't, I don't know because I watch a lot of stuff, but I don't watch a lot of stuff. There's a lot more people out there. So I was watching, I think it was one of Gary's streams, and I think it was just him by himself. And he was talking about all these shows, and he's talking this was good, oh, this was bad, this was good, this was bad. And I'm like, whoa, you've just said 4 or 5 titles I've never even heard. How do you have the time? But his job is doing that. He'll sit down and watch a show or, get invested, see what something's like, and then, reports back on it. It'd be nice to wake up in the morning, make a couple of videos, put them on YouTube, maybe watch something, do a stream, watch something else, and able to keep rolling that. But yeah, so Indiana Jones, I think that, again, they could do something with Indiana Jones. But if you look at the last two movies, it's so funny that Crystal Skull, for me, is now a better movie. It's not good. It's still not good. But it's a better movie because of the last one that we got. You know, and then there's the whole thing about recasting and everything. And this is where the art of making motion picture films has disappeared, because all these studios can do now, and we've talked about this before, is reboot, or try and grab something and do a continuation of that story, and then they screw that up, like with Star Wars, for example. And then they've got to try and retroactively go back to fix what they've fucked up, which then causes more fuck ups. Yeah, so I don't really have Indiana Jones slated because, like I said, I only heard about this morning. This rumor might have been out for longer. Actually, I might have heard something on one of the daily shows, possibly. I can't remember. But yeah, movie making is a disaster right now. It really is. OG Star Wars, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Good to see you. Long time no see. Yeah, it's been a while. I was watching while I was out running errands before this stream. I was listening to Matt Wilkins. I love that show. I know it's too short and it's not often enough. I would love those guys to do a show more often, talking about more of the EU, because even stuff that they wanted to talk about today, they didn't even get a chance to talk about. I might send an email to Matt and just say, dude, try and do it every 2 weeks if you can. Melissa, how you doing, Melissa? Good to see you. Yes, happy Independence Day. Happy July 4th, everybody. Obviously, to all my American friends, it's not something that we celebrate, or anywhere in the rest of the world celebrates. So, yes, happy Independence Day to all my American friends. Lara A, great supporter, always comes back and rewatches the stream. So, hello for whenever you do watch the stream. I'll be looking out for your comment. Let's see. We got Soulshade here. How you doing, Soulshade? Good to see you too. The great designer of the thumbnail. That great image. And some of the merch that you can get in the merch store. In fact, all of the merch that you can get in the merch store. I still need to settle some stuff with Soulshade. How you doing? Good to see you, dude. Yeah, we just talked about that. Good to see you, Trav. We got Brandon Day. We got Papa Palpatine's Pizza Padawan. Rage on. I'm coming. And yes, no, I didn't mean it like that. I'm glad OG Star Wars saw the humor in that one. Let's see who else we got here. We got Mud Crab. We got Gabriel Knight. We got Fear of FEMA. We got Joshua Atwell. And Gabriel Knight comes in with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Appreciate that. That is awesome. That is awesome. Let's see. I got to find some better clips in regards to just for super chats, just for the support stuff. But let's see. We'll play this one. We haven't played it for a while.
R4. Prepare to jettison the spare part canisters.
Red 2, standing by.
Red 11, standing by.
Red 5, standing by.
Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil! From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Well, then you are lost!
Can you see the ball sack now?
You're like stroking your leg with your one finger too.
I don't even remember what that's fucking from. Thank you, Gabriel Knight. Looking at that Lego video, like just that little clip that I did, like there's so much, like I've always had a lot of this stuff. Obviously, that's probably one of the newest. That's probably one of the newest ones. But yeah, it's so annoying seeing them in such pristine condition, and now like seeing them after the cats have half destroyed them. Like my X-wing is missing the S-foils on this side, like they're not there, whereas there's only one on this side. This is busted, so that's got that one on that side, but this side is completely gone. The Etco is like there's pieces that Charles has played with off the top of it. There's maybe a couple have fallen down the side down there. They're all okay. They're mostly okay. Look at the AT-AT. Look at this. It's just sitting down here. Oh, there's cat hair all over it because it's just sitting on the floor. But look how mangled it is. It's just sitting there like that. Anyway. Speaking of Lego, actually, before we go any further, and I will get to all of your chats, and Nolan, I see you. I do see you. But just give me 1 second. All right, hold on. I'm not going fast, so I'm not even going to turn my camera on. I had a customer that bought a car off me that there was some pretty major stuff-ups with her vehicle. I hope you heard all of that. So we ordered her a car. She was waiting for it, patiently waiting. Great customer, great person. She was waiting patiently for her car because she wanted a very specific color. And it arrived in the country, which was great news. I called her up and told her, I said, there's good news and there's bad news. Said the good news is the car arrived. The bad news is the car got smashed up while it was either in transit or getting off the boat or something. So they busted her car after they built it. So she'd already waited 2.5 months, I think it was. And, you know, I felt so sorry for her and she was great. So anyway, it turns out it was like we gave her options on other colors, other opportunities, waiting for another one possibly to be built, all of that sort of thing. It was a yellow car, so it's very unique, right? Not a lot of people buy or even order yellow. So we gave her that option, and then we also gave her another option on a completely different car, completely different color, and she ended up going with that option. She really liked the car, and she really liked the color. It was another unique color. But she was so good. Now, we've got a show here in Australia called Lego Masters, and I actually really, really like the show. It's hosted by a guy called Hamish. I was almost about to say Hamish Andy, but Hamish and Andy, they're like Hamish Blake. They're two guys, sort of comedians, but they do radio and stuff. They're pretty good. Anyway, there's a guy on there called Brickman, and Brickman is a master builder. He's actually a world-renowned Lego master builder. So he'll travel the world and just build things at Lego cons or whatever, right? But he's a co-host on the show. She works, I couldn't believe it. She works, and she's a massive Star Wars fan too. And we were talking about like the sequels, and she doesn't like them. She was great, right? Anyway, she works for Lego Masters, so she's met Brickman and everything, and it was really cool. So she got me a Brickman Lego like just bag, but it was what she got in it for me. So she gave me a Brickman beanie. I probably, that's pretty out there. I'd probably never wear that out, but like, you know, it's a fucking cold day and you're just hanging around at home. It's pretty cool. She got me this, which is just a Lego t-shirt, which is pretty cool. And like, this is after this customer, like, so much went wrong. She got a Lego brick, right? Signed by Brickman. It says play well. Signed by Brickman. That's pretty cool. And then just like a Brickman key ring. See, it's got Brickman written on that, and then you've got like just a brick. I'm sorry, I think it's really fucking cool. Like, I like this stuff. So I'm gonna put that key ring on my keys. I'm gonna keep that fucking little signed brick. It's very cool. And it was just a gift. She just came in and I'm like, we're going through like all her books and showing her the keys and bringing the car around and stuff. And she just goes, this is for you. And I open it up. I'm like, you did not need to do this. Some people, they might buy a bottle of bourbon or, wine or something like that. But anyway, there's my long-winded story about what happened yesterday at work. Was it yesterday or the day before? It was one of the days. Anyway, that's really cool. So yeah, I need to actually fix my Lego stuff. I think some of them, I might just pull them completely apart and just do a rebuild. But there's stuff that I really want to get that it's just so expensive. Let's continue, shall we? So thank you, Gabriel, for the gift of memberships. Really appreciate that. Lee Skywalker says, I've watched some of this channel. You seem to hate all Disney Star Wars and agree that it's all fake Star Wars. And for some reason, have Rogue One clips in your intro. I guess you like Rogue One. What's the Rogue One clip in my intro? Sorry, guys. Now I need to... So there's all the stuff from Revenge of the Sith that's there. I'm just scrolling through and looking for... There's no Rogue One clip in my intro. I will argue that Rogue One is probably one of their better movies. I still don't think that it's very good. And of course, again, changing the law from... what it is. But yeah, Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars. It's just not. There's so many, I think in nearly, if not every single thing that they've done, there's something that deconstructs or basically, sorry, I'm on the wrong one, deconstructs or destroys something from actual Star Wars lore, canon. Now, whether or not that's Star Wars lore that was came up with in like the movies, or whether or not that's stuff from the EU, it's all canon. Was it Matt Stover? It was all canon. Everything that was published was canon. That said that. Insert username. How you doing? Good to see you. Let's see. Let me just scroll through because I've been faffing a lot. Gary R. Blake, I see you as well. Quinton. SWA drops 5 gifted memberships as well. Thank you, SWA. Really appreciate that. Why didn't that show up? There it is there. OG Star Wars sent a super sticker. What was the sticker? Let me scroll up. It was, the coffee cup, of course. Thank you, OG Star Wars. If you like your EU, your expanded universe, you like Star Wars, obviously go and subscribe to OG Star Wars and her CAF chats. Very cool. I don't get to watch many of those because they're like 2 or 3 in the morning for me. I'm usually sound asleep at that time. I do watch some replays, though. We've also got Nolan coming in with a $50 super chat. Thank you. I don't have the round of applause. I don't have that. But,
Hello, what have we here?
And we here.
See? My friend.
Thank you, Nolan.
Thank you very much.
Let's see. We'll give you Steph's one, I think.
Not bad, not bad. Now you.
I don't even remember what that one's from either. Me dancing, man. They're all from Full Aussie. Those ones are all from Full Aussie. Thank you, Nolan. I really do appreciate that. I always owe you a shot over on Flashcast. I see you, Dr. Coffin-Nails. Soul Assassin. R.I.P. Star Wars. Hollywood is a joke. It is. Law Master Chris. I want to go to that meetup as well. If you haven't heard, because of the cancellation of, what was it, Legends Con 2, they are going to still do a meetup. If you want information about that, go to Matt Wilkins' channel. I'm sure there's links in descriptions and stuff like that. I think Ryan's also going to be there and promote it. So it's something so that the people that missed out, spent the money, already have tickets, or essentially, got credit for tickets because they can't get their money back, gives them opportunity to still actually spend that money on what they intended to spend that money on, which is good. How you doing, Lord Master Chris? Good to see you, dude. Let's see. King Lynchkin, how you doing? I think I said that name right. Talk about how bad Ironheart is. Well, we'll get there. Well, I will get there. Hope you're doing well, Rhino. I'm doing all right. I am getting a bit of a cold. Like my nose, like yesterday, my nose was just nonstop running at work. It was horrible. And you get that bit of a heavy head. It's not like I was wiped out, but like I felt the symptoms of sickness coming on, which isn't great. Tweed Tone, how you doing? Seeing some new names in the chat as well, which is awesome. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Smash the like button. I appreciate. Lying hypocrite. You parade around saying Disney Star Wars is fake Star Wars and agree with losers like Darth Melvin, even though you enjoy Rogue One and have it in your intro. Lying hypocrite. G'day guys and welcome back to Casual Rage. Okay, so we got
Prepare to start the show,
Revenge of the
R2.
Sith.
This is where the fun begins.
Oh, that tiny little bit of hyperspace. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. So putting that tiny little bit of hyperspace in there means that I like Rogue One, means that I don't think that all Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars. Oh my god. All right. Ryan Gosling for 15 months. I'm sorry. That's just wow. Been watching the replays the last month. Still here. Of course, Ryan Gosling. Good to see you, brother. That's so funny. That's so funny. All right. We are all caught up, I believe. We are all caught up. All right. So let's get into okay. We'll do Fantastic Four. We'll get Fantastic Four stuff out the way. So with Fantastic Four obviously coming, it's so funny how Fantastic Four has actually pushed their promotion. So they released tickets, I think, earlier than anyone else. I think I don't even know because Jurassic World, I don't know when tickets started going on sale for Jurassic World, but we'll just say the tickets went on sale for Fantastic Four at least before Superman came out, and Superman's coming out, 2 weeks at least before Fantastic Four comes out. They've been pushing so much, so many clips, so many trailers, so many teasers. And I don't see the hype. I don't see anyone really. The only people that I see talking about it is talking about basically the bad things about Marvel, and like in more recent times, and then how we're sort of seeing those elements just through what they've shown us. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for example, and this was, I think, last week, the 25th, this trailer came out. So we are watching essentially a trailer a week late. But again, we missed it last week because I wasn't here. Let's let me bring this up. All right. Let's just watch this. I got 2 things here that we're going to watch, but let's just watch this.
Famous around the world, please welcome the Fantastic Four.
You know, I got to say, just in regards to the casting, in isolation with just the casting, everything I don't necessarily have a problem with other than Pedro Pascal. And it's not because I don't like Pedro Pascal, because I really don't like Pedro Pascal from everything that we've seen from him. But it's just because he doesn't look like Reed. You know, he doesn't look like Mr. Fantastic. It doesn't suit, like, you know, and we've heard about the casting issues that apparently they had where they asked a million people before they went to him and fell back on him, and he'll just say yes to anything, I guess. But and then there's the only other thing is the female Silver Surfer, which I just think is stupid. It's so stupid to do that.
Mr. Fantastic.
And it's funny too, like, out of all the stuff that they've shown us, the only real times that we've seen him use his powers is then him just giving us an intro, and there's one other one where he's sort of jumping and spinning, I think, through the air, but it's like literally about the same time.
Invisible Woman. Human Torch.
I love you, Johnny.
And the Thing.
Hey, what time is it? Say the thing.
That's not really something I say.
It's clobbering time.
That's just in the cartoon.
Yeah, just him saying it's just in the cartoon, like, is that sort of it in a sense, and for want of a better description, it's almost like breaking the fourth wall, like it's referencing itself in itself. I don't know if I really like that part of it. Like, if it was just a saying that, you know, that everybody wants him to say because he's just this big rock and he's clobbering time, and he doesn't really want to say it, and then obviously you get at the end and he's like, it's clobbering time, and you do get it. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. It's more the fact that they're trying that. So all of these people that are wanting him to say it, it's all because it was made up from a cartoon that was made about them in their world. I don't know. Yeah, they made a cartoon in universe of those characters. Something like that, I'm not saying it can work. You can do something like that. You know, it's kind of like, actually, surprisingly enough, there's a couple of Stargate episodes where Dennis, I want to say his name's Dennis, but he loses his memories, but he still has memories, and he starts making a show about the Stargate in Stargate. And to be honest with you, the way that they did it in that was kind of fine. It was okay. It was a bit corny, and it was a bit of filler. And I think it was a bit of filler because they wanted to eliminate that loose end that they had with the story that they created. They kind of realized that there was nowhere to go with that story, but they were still in the universe, and the best way to write them out was to do it this way. That's good storytelling. That's good writing. That's closing. That's putting a nice little bow on this story that was retarded in the first place. Should never have actually really been put on there, but at least they still paid attention to it. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Wormhole Extreme. That's what it was called. Oh my God. I love it at the end of the episode when the actor, the guy that plays Jack, and like the almost like bloopers or whatever. Funny. I did like that. But yeah, in something like this, I don't know how I feel about the reference of like a show about them in the show. And then that's where the whole thing of the clobbering time comes from. Don't know how I feel about that.
Never late for Sunday dinner.
Let's eat.
Hey, what time is it?
It's dinner time. Get inside.
See, even that, like he's smirking, like, oh, what time is it? Say it's clobbering time.
I herald his beginning. I herald your end.
I gotta say, like, female civil service is probably the worst part of what we've seen here. First of all, the CGI, it compared to like Nora and Rad in The Rise of Silver Surfer, like, wow, how have we regressed so much in it? But also to like to actually have it as the female Silver Surfer is stupid. It shouldn't be. It should be Nora and Rad. Everybody knows that.
I herald Galactus.
What is that?
And from what we've seen from Galactus, Galactus looks pretty good. But we haven't fully seen Galactus yet.
Get us out of here, man! Hold on!
Are we safe?
I don't know. The clock is ticking. We are going to find a solution. We are going to make it right.
You don't want to just crush him?
I like that. The four of us will face the danger. We will protect you.
Oh, just sounds like Pedro Pascal being Pedro Pascal.
Family. It's about connecting to something bigger than yourself. We'll face it together. As a family.
That's when Vin Diesel walks in. Goes, yeah, what she said.
What time is it, Ben?
No.
What time is it?
Now I gotta ask, does he shave with a chisel and a hammer? Tink, 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 tink. Tink, 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 tink.
No, Johnny.
Say it!
I don't wanna!
Say it!
Yeah, that one. That's It's such a shame, to be fair. It really is. That just like everything that I see is sort of just disappointing me when it comes to Fantastic Four. Now, look, I'm more an X-Men guy than a Fantastic Four guy. But, you know, if we're bringing Fantastic Four in, if we're bringing Doctor Doom in, if we're doing the Doomsday stuff, you know, it's so easy. It's kind of like the Blade thing. It's so easy. What are you doing? These stories have been written for you. Adapting them and putting them to screen and being genuine and loyal to the source material and all of that sort of thing shouldn't be as difficult as it seems that they're making it. You know, I'm so tapped out of the MCU right now that, like, we're going to talk about Ironheart. I haven't watched the last, what is it, 4 episodes, whatever it is, three episodes. I haven't even watched them yet. I watched those first couple, and like honestly, I don't even really want to. I'm gonna do it because Flash asked me to, and I will. But I just the other thing with the MCU that I don't understand is how it reached the heights that it reached with the first 3 phases to then turn into the disaster that it is. It's just it got destroyed just as quickly as it blew up and it grew. Crazy to think. But then this was released yesterday. So this is just a little, again, this is what I'm talking about, the marketing, you know, huge amounts. We're talking July 25th. We're still like 20 days away from this coming out. And how much they've actually promoted this already. Like this is, I don't know if we've seen something quite as massive as this advertising campaign that they've done for Fantastic Four before. Maybe they have. I just haven't really paid attention to that, and I'm just noticing it with this. But when did the first trailer come out for this? Let me just hold on one second, guys. I don't even think it's just when did the first one come out. It's how many trailers and how many, like 2 months ago, 4 months ago. So, okay. That's not them. That's the same trailer. Okay. All right. So for like actual trailers, they released one 4 months ago. They released one 2 months ago. They released, and this doesn't include like all these little things that like these things that I'm about to show you here that they've been releasing on Twitter and stuff, the miniature like little teasers and trailers and, you know, much anticipated, come and see, get your tickets now, blah, blah, blah. So 4 months ago, 2 months ago, 4 weeks ago, 8 days ago, and a day ago. They're all the trailers and teasers. And then, again, like I said, that doesn't include like these like this.
On July 25th, time to save the planet. Prepare for fantastic.
What's the plan?
Trust me, I hate that
That's
plan.
a bad plan. That's a stupid plan.
Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four First Steps.
Oh, man. I really feel like they're going to do Reed Richards dirty as well, just in regards to his powers and his abilities. I just thought about that just looking at this. We'll see. But, I mean, again, with what we're getting out of the MCU, what we've been getting, you know, apparently they were going to be turning the corner or something, making shit better. Nobody's seen any of that. Any of it. I don't know if I really noticed that. Did you notice like a bit of a shift in the tone or like, you know, even just the way that they're talking about it? I mean, I don't go and look for like the junkets and stuff that they do, the interviews and everything. If I ever do, it's only because somebody's, you know, clipped something because it's like, you know, a bad thing or whatever. And sometimes you do need context for that. But I don't know. Yeah, they've got him talking a little bit more in this trailer. But has there been reshoots for this as well? That's another thing I don't know. Just go to stuff that we love. There's a trailer for a new Demon Slayer movie out now. Looks amazing as fuck. Nice. I refuse to watch Ironheart. Yeah. It's fair enough. Well, it's not a show. It's just it is literally like propaganda. And you know, if you want to instill some goodness and morals into children, do not show them this show. Do not do that. Let's see. All right, let's talk a little bit. We're going to break it up here a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about some Star Wars. So, I can't really remember, but this rumor has surfaced. Oh, wrong one. So again, like if you remember, for the last couple of weeks now on this show, we've been talking about how Disney blew their Star Wars load early this year. They basically released everything in the first half of the year, and they've got nothing to keep any sort of momentum. Not that they really had any, but to keep any sort of momentum or anything moving forward for Star Wars in the second half of this year. So this is why we're getting non-stop now repeated rumors about stuff. You had all the Kathleen Kennedy stuff, right? We've had stuff about the Rey movie being cancelled or being shelved or being delayed or just not being worked on at all. You get a couple of announcements here and there that end up falling on deaf ears because nothing really happens. I don't think we really got any new announcements at Star Wars Celebration. Oh, no, sorry, that's wrong. We got the Starfighter fucking thing. Did they even touch on the James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi thing that apparently that got announced 2 years ago? Like, this is the state of Star Wars, Disney Star Wars right now. And it's actually kind of fucking nuts because they're just recycling stories to keep Star Wars in the news. So we get now a rumor that the Obi-Wan Kenobi show is reportedly, or the season 2 is reportedly in development. Now, ever since Ewan McGregor did the first one and did his little car video, this is the problem. These actors, you know, I liked Ewan McGregor. There's a couple of movies that outside of Star Wars that I think are really fucking good, right? I like The Island. Is it Black Hawk Down? Is he in that? He is. He's the guy that can type. And really good in that. Like, you know, he's a good actor. But then he goes and does his car video about the racist fans, and it's like, dude, you're just told by the studio that there's racist fans, and then you go out and can you please do something in support of Moses Ingram without having the actual facts. You're just a fucking, yeah, I'll do what you tell me to do. That's really bad, even though it's untrue. But he also has come out and said that he wouldn't mind doing a season 2. What the fuck could they possibly do in a season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi? Are they going to have a rematch of the century? Is he going to leave Tatooine again? You people over there at Disney Lucasfilm have no idea what Tatooine is. The lore around that planet, the canon that has been created around that planet is so vast and intense and insane that that I don't even think that even if you were to do an isolated Obi-Wan Kenobi story, oh my God, you're going to have Qui-Gon Jinn in like every episode. And not just talking to him either. He's going to be projected. And look, I think it's well known now that there's been an interview from Liam Neeson saying that he's done. Like, he's done with that character now. It was awesome to come back and do that little bit that he did for the Obi-Wan Kenobi season 1, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it was so awesome that it actually ruins your character. Like, this is what I'm talking about when this is why, to that fucking idiot that was in the chat earlier, that Skywalker fucking idiot, this is why Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars. Because under no circumstances should fucking Qui-Gon Jinn actually be showing up and physically appearing to anyone. That's broken law. That is broken canon. That is broken Star Wars. So what we do is we isolate it. We go, this is Star Wars. This is Disney Star Wars, which isn't Star Wars, right? We got Star Wars over here. This is real. This is canon. This is law. There's so much around that doesn't actually get bent or get broken or get shattered into a million pieces. It's structured. There are some issues. I'm not going to deny that I'm not going to say that it's perfect, and I'm not going to deny that it doesn't have its flaws here and there. But overall, it's pretty tight. It's pretty well done. That one thing in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and that's one tiny little thing right at the end, right? Think about the rematch. Think about the fact that he leaves. Think about the elements with Leia and what that does to those characters and what that does to the lore and the canon and the world. It's that... Outside of the sequel trilogy, the Obi-Wan Kenobi season 1 is the most destructive thing to Star Wars. Hands down. And then you could open up the book of Boba Fett. Open up that book and you'll find massive amounts of, cringe with your little fucking Power Rangers, but then you've also got just retarded characters. You got retardedness in fucking destruction of Boba Fett, fucking bringing in stupid people, making them teleport in an edit, making them teleport from over here to over here just so that it, works, I guess. Like, it is a disaster. You want to then move to The Mandalorian. Well, that does a massive amounts of damage to Mandalorians. Think it also does a little bit of damage to the prequels. I think it does damage to, baby Grogu, baby fucking Yoda in there does multiple amounts of fucking damage. I swear, I still say to this day, and that's season 1, right? That episode where Grogu force heals Grief Karga was the episode that they released before the release of Rise of the fucking Palpatine, whatever the fuck it's called. Right? And you know why? You know why they did that? So that when we see Rey do the force healing, if anyone criticizes that and doesn't criticize Grogu doing it, you're just sexist. You can't stand a woman doing what a man can do. But the entire thing breaks fucking law, not Star Wars. So go ahead. This is where I'm completely separated now. It's amazing. It took me a long time to get there. Completely separated. It's not to say that I still don't get angry about what they're doing, labeling this crap Star Wars. And the people out there trying to defend it, like your fuckwits in the chat that we had before. So go ahead. Do your Obi-Wan Kenobi season 2. Do your Rian Johnson trilogy. Do your Rey movie. Do your Mandalorian and Grogu movie. You know the other thing I was thinking about the other day with Mandalorian and Grogu? Let me just finish that point. Do it all. Fucking with Mandalorian and Grogu is if they did have any momentum after what they brought out this year, they're what? 6 to 9 months away, the next thing comes out, which is the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. They're going to have to spend a shit ton of money on promotion and advertising just to try and gain, like, this is why I can't believe what they did with it. Is this them trying to put it on a hiatus? You know how people say, chuck it in the vault and leave it in there for 5 to 10 years and then maybe bring it out and start doing some stuff with it. This is their idea of chucking it in the vault? I don't think so, because there's still all the retarded writers there over there at Lucasfilm are still sitting there, apparently writing a Rey movie and apparently writing this and apparently writing a Starfighter movie. I tell you what, if Ryan Gosling's character is like a ripoff of Corran Horn, and I truly believe that that's what they're doing with this. It's like game over. Game over for Disney Star Wars. It's not to say that there aren't the retards out there that will still go and watch it and give it, you know, money and support, but it will eventually diminish into nothingness. It'll end up like all the things that tried to be Star Wars back in the 80s to recreate that lightning in a bottle, but they had no actual story. It was just, you know, sci-fi. That's where Star Wars is actually headed. So go ahead, do your season 2. I don't care anymore. Do it so that we can watch it and laugh at it. You know, we can laugh at like the fact that you had to shoot the gate just so that you could walk through it. You know, when he shot that gate, everybody talks about that gate scene, right? Yeah, okay. He could have walked around it. Yes, it was very easy. And he was right there, right? Could have just walked around it. Didn't need to shoot it so that he could walk through it. But when he did shoot it, you know what I thought he was doing? Jumping back into that vehicle that they pulled up there in and driving that across. But no, they just walked through. Now, being that they are basically in the middle of nowhere, even though more stormtroopers just show up out of nowhere, wouldn't it have been faster to get in the vehicle and drive somewhere? I don't know. Oh, yeah. This next one, he's going to hide Luke under his coat. So go ahead, do your worst, Disney Star Wars, because you already have. So why not continue on that same trend and continue to get diminishing returns? Man, Mandalorian Grogu is going to be so interesting. So interesting just to see. Yeah, we dare you to do a season 2. That's true, Fear of Fema. We dare you to do it. We dare you. We want a season 2 of The Acolyte. I don't think you realize how much people actually want that. For all the wrong reasons. For all the wrong reasons. Moving along to some Ahsoka Season 2 news. I mean, you greenlit Ahsoka Season 2, and that was actually, even by some of the Disney shills out there, not... Oh, actually, no, I take that back. We got a lot of shit from that. He Vadered! Oh, it's red! Oh, fuck! World Between Worlds! Fuck! I don't know. I don't even know what Ahsoka Season 1 was. Grand Admiral Thrawn being a fucking moron. The most unintelligent character in all of Star Wars. That's what they did to Grand Admiral Thrawn. Can you believe it? Shinhati actress Ivana Sakno. I don't even know if I pronounced that correctly. I'm sorry. Previews really cool fights in Ahsoka season 2. A lot of heart is put into season 2. I'm sick of hearing this. I am so sick of hearing we worked really hard on this. A lot of effort. We put so much effort in and so much, time and effort and heart into this. So, I put a lot of time and effort and heart into my job. I put a lot of time and effort and heart into, the channel to some degree, the best that I can do. Does it mean that it's good? Is my channel good? I don't think that it's anything special. In fact, I would want it to be something better than it is. So no, it's not good. But I work hard. So? Doesn't mean anything. A lot of heart went into putting... a lot of heart is put into season 2. Put into season 2. I don't know why they bracketed that. We're trying to honor the world. They always say that as well. And the story as much as possible and have some really cool fights coming up, hopefully. Well, ending it with hopefully doesn't really fill me with any hope. But every single fight that we've had from Disney Star Wars has been absolute dog shit. I don't think we've had one good choreographed fight in all of Disney Star Wars. People want to cite the Last Jedi throne room fight. God. You know whose video I would refer everybody to would be Robot Heads. I think it's Disney, Star Wars, or Disney Lucasfilm, something like that, doesn't understand lightsabers. Go and watch that video. Last time I looked at it, it had like 3 or 4 million views. Go and watch that video if you think that fight fucking scene is amazing. Like, I just don't get it. There's a guy that literally throws his staff away so that he can get stabbed and run through with a lightsaber. Literally throws it away. Disappearing dagger. Kylo Ren constantly fucking lightsaber in the ground. Anyway, everything that you said in this little statement, we hear every time like fucking something new comes out. We worked really hard. We're trying to honor the source material and the world and the story as much as possible. But you know what? Failing all of that, it's got really cool fight scenes. That's what this comes across as. And you know what? Star Wars isn't just really cool fight scenes. But Rhino, we need the message. Yeah. The thing is, like, I don't think that there's necessarily a lot of the message in Ahsoka. There is kind of like with fucking, what's her name? Essentially becoming a Mary Sue, like being able to use the Force amazingly out of nowhere. Sabine. That's the most that we got to that. Ahsoka, what Ahsoka's crime is when it comes to Star Wars is how much actual damage it does to Star Wars lore, canon, and continuity. From the source of Star Wars and what Star Wars lore, canon, and continuity has given us and taught us in the 50 years that it's been around for, Ahsoka does damage to all avenues of that. Hyperspace, We talked about that multiple times. Hyperspace, travel time, all of that. The way the Force is used, the way the Force can be used. You know, there's so much wrong with Ahsoka season 1. And I just don't think, I think from Ahsoka season 1 to Ahsoka season 2, you're going to get diminishing returns on that. What's up, Scran? Good to see you, brother. I see you, Butcher, as well. Geordie. Fights aren't enough. That 100%. 100%. 100%. Anyway. Yeah, it was. It was terrible. Yeah, she's force sensitive because she wants to be. No, she's force sensitive because she tried hard enough. She tried hard enough. You know what that scene reminded me of? Like she was being choked by a droid or whatever, right? And the lightsaber was on the ground, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she's able to use it. And if she wasn't able to use it, she'd be dead. In fact, she probably, being that it was a droid, she probably should have been dead before she even got the chance. But anyway, I digress. You know what it reminded me of? You know how Deadpool gets his powers? Except the way they do it in Deadpool is like good and it makes sense and like it's fine. But it's like they fast-tracked that into quick, choke Sabine so that she can, get distressed enough that she can now use the Force in amazing ways. On the darts, yeah. I did say that I was going to go off screen when I was smoking, but I just fucking did it. It was a complete, like, I was just in the rhythm of it. Fuck it. I do need to stop smoking, though. Disparu's reviews of Riri's show are really funny. I love Disparu and I love watching his videos because he is quite funny in the way that he reacts and the way that he does stuff. But I haven't seen any of his Ironheart ones. I need to. I probably should go and watch them. Did he do individual episodes or did he do it just in 2 videos, just in 2 big blocks or something? I'll have to go and have a look. But yes, good. They worked hard on Ahsoka season 2. Please watch our show. We're trying to honor the world and the story as much as possible. The way that it's even worded is like red flags everywhere. Red flags everywhere. And then goes on to say, and have some really cool fights coming up. Hopefully. Okay. That's a little bit of Star Wars news out the way. We've got a little bit more Star Wars stuff, but before we get into that, we are going to watch some Superman stuff. So, Superman is just around the corner. It's going to be interesting now, like I said, to see what happens, being that Jurassic World is already out. And basically out for, 2 weeks before Superman comes out. And then Superman's about 2 weeks before Fantastic Four comes out. Something like that. Let's take a look at this clip that they dropped. And again, at this point in time, with all the trailers that we've seen, and I was talking about the marketing campaign that they did for Fantastic Four. The marketing campaign that they've done for Superman is probably just as big. I feel like at this point in time, without the context of specifics, I've seen the movie. With all the clips that they've come out with Lois and the interview with Lois and Superman, the clip of Crypto destroying something in the, in the super bots or whatever they are, not taking care of the dog or whatever, we feed him. And then there's this clip, and then there's all the trailers. Rock, paper, scissors. Is that in reference to Andor? Let's watch this clip, and then we're going to talk a little bit about James Gunn as well, because obviously that's hot news, hot topic. So let's watch this clip. I'm probably going to get hit for this one, because like even just watching their trailers, they fucking hit you, and then this is like a 1 minute clip. So I don't know. Tell me those people would just be standing there filming like that. I just want to check something really quickly. You know what's even funnier is that they're using iPhones, right? They're using iPhones. Now, let me show you this really quickly, right? Hang on. Oh, it doesn't come through as a red dot on the camera. That's really strange. Just remove this really quickly. Huh. Okay. You can't even see the red dot. So there's a red dot in there. When you push record, it turns into, see, there you go. You can see the little square in there. Oops. They're not even filming. I mean, look, I know it's a small, minor nitpick detail, but I mean, look, they're not, I wasn't even coming back to say that they're not even recording there. That was just something that I noticed, right? But in saying that, who's just standing there underneath this fucking monster, recording with a hand over the face, scream, ah! What the fuck? Seriously, that's dumb. That is really fucking dumb. And I've watched this, and I didn't even think about that until just watching it now. They're not even recording, and they're just standing underneath this fucking giant monster. Everybody else is running away. Where is it? Here, everybody's running away. Except for these two. She's smiling. That smiling thing, it makes me think of, if you've ever seen the movie Cliffhanger, the very opening scene when she falls, right? In that scene when he's holding her and she's slipping, fucking, I can't remember the characters' names. The boyfriend or the husband or whoever it is screaming like, don't you let her go, don't you let her go. But the old guy standing next to him is just there smiling. Watch it. It's fucking hilarious. Fucking hilarious. That's what that just reminded me of.
Get out of here!
Like, even these people just standing just here. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't think it's not real. At least these people are running. She's just standing there in shock. if you were in shock, you'd run. All these people. I mean, yes, you might, all these people, you might think, yes, Superman can save us. Superman can help us. But surely they got to think there's going to be some collateral damage here. We better get as far away from this thing as possible. No, we want to watch Superman do his thing. Yay! Look at this fucking massive uppercut. It falls down and lands on that girl because she's just too dumb to run. That's it. That's the clip. Now, I like a couple of things in this. I like the idea, the fact that he saves the dog. You know, it's kind of like, to Superman, even this little dog's life is important and matters. But fuck, he tells the dog to run. He tells the dog to get out of there. Why isn't he just yelling at everybody? What are you all fucking doing? Run! Like, why? Why wouldn't he do that? So stupid. I'm sorry. The more that I actually see of this, and I didn't even think to, like, this wasn't even meant to be like a breakdown or anything. But like, I've just seen multiple things. One of those things is a tiny little nitpick. Yeah, those people aren't recording. But the bigger problem is, what the fuck are they doing standing there? How many dogs do you want to put in this fucking movie as well? Now, that's pretty much it. And like I said, we're going to go into the James Gunn sort of racism stuff. It's so fucking stupid. But again, the promotion that they've put out for this, number one, I feel like I've seen the movie without the actual context of details, right? I'm sure that there's stuff that we haven't seen that they're going to put in here, but it's going to be one of those situations where it's like, oh, that's the scene that I saw in the trailer. Oh, that's the scene that I saw in the trailer. Oh, that's the scene that I saw in the trailer. Or that's the clip that they released. That's the clip that they released. That's the clip that they released. How many more clips between now and the 11th are they going to release? But then, of course, you do have the junkets and the press tours and stuff like that. And of course, James Gunn throughout this entire process has been talked about a lot, right? Because James Gunn is doing James Gunn things, inserting James Gunn things into his movie. And it's a bit of a shame because I feel like James Gunn was better in the past than he is sort of now, the more that I'm getting from this. So there was this clip. Like, these people are so dumb. Let's just take a listen.
Every once in a while, there'll be somebody who will say something. It's always the weirdest stuff. It's never what you expect. Mm-hmm. Some weird thing that I go, God, that guy, I'm going to, and then I go, I think I might be getting upset about something a 12-year-old in India is saying. You know what I mean? I'm like, let it.
Okay. So is it just the fact that he referenced India? If he had have said, oh, I could be getting upset about something a 12-year-old in Australia said. I could be getting upset about what somebody in Finland has said. A 12-year-old in Finland has said, oh, it's not racist because they're predominantly white countries. Is it just because he said India that this is racist? It's not. Okay, in defense of James Gunn here, it's not fucking racist. What he's saying is that, yes, there are people out there that are basically saying some stuff about what we're showing them, about this Superman movie, the trailers, the clips, the this, the that. And some of it's really some of the weirdest stuff. To him, it's the weird stuff, right? But then all he's saying is, I'm worried about what this person's saying, and this person could be somebody on the other side of the world, and they could be a 12-year-old kid on the other side of the world. That's all he is saying. But no, it's because he references India that this is racist. I mean, guys, one's in the chat. One's in the chat if you think this is racist. Two's if you think that it's not. Now, I don't want to sit here and defend James Gunn because I don't think that he's doing, from what I'm seeing with Superman, I just don't think that it's good. Like, I don't think that it's going to be good. You know? And then there's the whole element of, you know, taking over from the Snyderverse and fucking all of this other crap. And, you know, recasting Superman, but not really recasting others. It's confusing. It's confusing, and surely it's majorly confusing to normies out there when it comes to what's happening with DC. Another Superman movie? Oh, it's different Superman. So is this different universe, same universe? But a lot of normies aren't necessarily going to fucking know what the fuck's going on. But this is not fucking racist. And this is where the problem in the culture has become an issue. Right? Because you can't say anything now without it being hypersensitized or people being hypersensitive to words and references of stuff and shit. You know what I'm saying? Papa Palpatine, Pizza Pat, you don't think this is racist. I don't think it's racist. I mean, you might think that it's racist. I don't think you do. Because like I said, it's just literally him saying that he's worried about what somebody's saying on, let's say, Twitter, when it could be somebody that's just on the other side of the world and they could be 12 years old. It's funny. I didn't actually see
I think
the person interviewing him's reaction when he says it. Does he seem to take offense to it?
I might be getting upset about something a 12-year-old in India is saying. You know what I mean? I'm like, let it.
I don't know. You know who he looks like? Star Wars Marvel purist. He looks like, or Grizzy, or Melvin. He looks like the guy that sits there and watches Star Wars with the Grogu on his lap with those other boys. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm like,
he looks like him. The one that sticks his dick in his Grogu doll every time he watches Disney Star Wars. So there was that. And then, of course, because of the amount of backlash that he got from saying that one tiny little thing, which isn't racist at all, he then has to clarify or apologize or damage control this. It's insane. Let's take a listen to this.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, I am incredibly grateful for the Indian fans, and I talk to you guys all the time online, and there's so many of you, obviously, and so many fans of Superman who love...
They're going to take that as racism. There's so many of you. Well, fucking, it's the thing. You may as well just say that that's racist.
Love Superman, and he means so much to them. And that isn't lost on me when I'm making this movie about how much he means to the people of India, because he really is...
Oh, now I'm offended. Because you think that Superman is only meaningful to Americans and Indians. What about Australians? How dare you, James Gunn, you fucking piece of shit? Do we exist? Australia, we exist. How dare you say that you didn't make a Superman for Australians? That's how fucking stupid it is, right?
Somebody who looks out for everyone. He cares. Yeah, well, I mean, first of all,
the apology tour starts. Yeah, you tell him, Rhino. So, to me, Superman... The funny thing is I think Superman has copped more criticism for, like, the interviews and what some of the people have said, more so than what people are seeing. Oh, it's hard to say that, actually. I was about to say, as opposed to Fantastic Four, where, you know, you've got Johnny Storm coming out and saying, oh, I'm not going to be Johnny Storm, basically. And you've got, you know, the Silver Surfer being in there. Them talking about how Sue Storm's going to be basically the leader and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know. I guess it's just a waiting game. We'll have to wait and see. You know what I really need to go see in the theater? Ford versus Ferrari. I was about to say F1. F1 I need to go see. Fucking there's a race this weekend too. I've been really getting into F1 since Piastri's leading the charge, leading the championship. If they were smart, they would have got Tim Burton to do Superman because he made Batman great with Michael Keaton. I just think if they were smart, they would just fucking... This is the thing with something like a Superman. I don't think it's as complicated as even they seem to make it. It's kind of like with the Blade thing, right? Blade should be so easy to do. It really should. You know, day-walking vampire that fucking hunts vampires. It's fucking... It shouldn't be that hard. But anyway, we'll wait and see with this. I think it's going to be interesting to see how all three of these movies perform. And when I say three, obviously Superman, Fantastic Four, and Jurassic World. Excuse me. RIP Star Wars for $2 says, I saw F1. It was good. Nothing special, though. I don't need it to be anything special. I love sports movies. I do like racing movies. I like most sports and most racing, like actually watching it. There's some races and stuff that I do find boring. But more often than not, I really, really do enjoy it. It's the way that this movie has been shot and everything that makes me want to see it. Apparently the story is good and it holds up and it's good enough. But apparently the effects of this movie and the soundtrack and stuff is really, really good. So I'm excited. I really want to see it. That's true, actually. Good is special at this point. That's very true. That's very true. Good is special. All right, what do we got next? Done Superman. Like, for me, I'm now at a point, though, for me, it's like a bit of wait and see. Like, yeah, I talk about these things, the lead up to these things and stuff. I'm not hyped for Superman. Not hyped for Fantastic Four. I'm not hyped for Jurassic World. Out of all of them, the one that I would probably pay to go and see in theaters would be the Superman one. And that's crazy for me because I'm more a Marvel guy than I am DC. There's so much turning me away from Fantastic Four. None bigger, really, than Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal. That's what I'm going to call him. Pastel from now on. Pascal. What do we got next? Let's talk a little bit about Mark Hamill. Because he was sort of in the news last week. And we would have talked about this last week if we had have done the show. Fortunately, we missed it, but we're going to talk a little bit about it now. It's old news. You guys already know all about it and probably already over it. But I just want to bring this up really quickly because before we get into the clip of what he actually says... Mark Hamill calls Rian Johnson one of the most gifted directors he's ever worked with. I've heard comments from fans who think that I somehow dislike Rian Johnson, and nothing could be further from the truth. He says, well, dude, lies. No, now, I'm not necessarily saying he's lying about the fact that maybe he doesn't dislike Rian Johnson. Maybe he doesn't dislike Rian Johnson. But you certainly don't think he's one of the most gifted directors. After what he did to your character, not your character, our character, Luke Skywalker. After what he did to the character, and the way that you came out during that time and talked about it, you even said that you fundamentally disagree with his interpretation of the character or whatever it was that you actually said. So I don't buy this. But this feeds into the clip that we got from him last week in an interview. He talked about how he had to go about portraying the character of, yes, Jake Skywalker for the movie. Now, if he was such a great director, do you think that you would have had to have changed? The one thing that I think Rian Johnson got the most praise for in The Last Jedi was that it looked good. I mean, he certainly got that praise from George Lucas, that it was a great looking film. But I just don't like fucking something dramatically changed in this man's brain. I don't know when it exactly happened. It's been a bit of the TDS as well as I don't know, just wokeness infiltrating, the cult of wokeness infiltrating his brain and turning him into a fucking moron, absolute retard. Something happened, and I don't know when the big shift did happen, but once again, it would be like Keanu Reeves, right? An actor that you absolutely love, and he can act really well, and he's really good, and you know, he seems based. Yes, he's a Hollywood person, so you never really fucking know, but he seems like he's got like pretty fucking normal. Or Nicolas Cage, same thing. And then them coming out and fucking absolutely destroying their image of themselves in your eyes over absolute garbage stuff. And then every time you see them, it's just like, oh God, this fucking idiot. He got paid under the table. You reckon? Greystone, you really reckon he got paid under the table? I don't know, man. He got paid. That's the thing. And if he had a contract, I don't think they would necessarily have to pay him. You're on a contract, Mark. Shut the fuck up. Pull it back. Wind it in. I think that's all they would have had to have done. And then the seeds of, again, wokeness and crap over the last, 7 to 10 years. I don't think it's quite been 10 years. I really think that it's sort of, 2016, especially like the main thing that sort of triggers my head in regards to like when wokeness fully fucking, took hold, and it was Ghostbusters. But now let's listen to the clip that was going around of Mark Hamill talking about The Last Jedi. Let's take a listen.
So I made up a much, much darker backstory that I thought could justify him being that way. What could make someone give up a devotion to what is basically a religious entity, to give up being a Jedi? Well, the love of a woman.
Before we continue, I just want to answer this. Agent Fuck, 71. Sorry, man. Would I like to? Yes. So first of all, yes. In an ideal world, in a perfect world, an R-rated Vader movie would be fantastic. And I think if you did the Rise of Darth Vader novelization a year out from these events take place a year from Revenge of the Sith, and he hunts down Jedi, and it's all about the way he's feeling in his suit. I will say it's probably a hard book to adapt because there's so much inner monologue in that book for Vader. I love the way that this is how Vader feels right now, or Anakin is how Anakin is for the rest of his life. There's so many little things like that. But anyway, that would be a great book to adapt into an R-rated Vader movie. Absolutely fantastic. But in regards to would I like Disney? No. It's like asking me if I would want them to do a Revan story. Fuck yes. How awesome would it be to have a Revan movie or a Revan trilogy or a Revan TV show? You could do an amazing Revan TV show. Amazing. All you would have to do is fucking almost adapt KOTOR to a show, which you could do. It would be amazing. Do I want Disney to do it? Fuck no. The first thing that they would do would be to make Revan a girl. Because, hey, you could be a girl in the game. Revan was a girl. It's possible. No. Don't want them touching it. All of these things would be fucking awesome. Solo. You want to do a Han Solo story? Right? Fucking great. It would be fucking awesome if it was Han Solo, if it was Lando Calrissian, if it was actually a Han Solo and a Star Wars story. It would be great. Disney has shown their hand in regards to what they do with these types of things, what they do with these types of characters. So, do I want Disney to do a Darth Vader movie? No. I mean, for the sake of the channel and stuff like that, fucking do it all. Do it all. Like I said earlier, fucking do your season 2s of everything. Do your fuck it. Do a Mace Windu series about how he survived. You may as well at this point in time. And just for those of you out there that I'm being facetious, fucking Mace Windu's fucking dead. Died, got hit with unlimited fucking force lightning power and fucking launched out a window after getting his arm fucking taken off. He is dead. Toast. Let's continue this. We'll go back a little bit.
Entity to give up being a Jedi. Well, the love of a woman. So he falls in love with a woman. He gives up being a Jedi. They have a child together. At some point, the child, as a toddler, picks up an unattended lightsaber, pushes the button, and is killed instantly. The wife is so full of grief, she kills herself. I thought that would be, because I think about, I hear these horrible stories about these children that find unattended guns and so forth and wind up dead. And I thought that resonated with me so deeply that that could possibly, but he didn't have the time to tell a backstory like that. I'm guessing he just wanted a brief thing to explain it. And to me, it didn't justify it. That said, and I told him this, despite the fact that I disagree with your choices for Luke, I'm going to do everything within my power to make your screenplay work as best that I can. So
Okay, there's a couple of things about this that I just think absolute fucking bullshit on. First of all, if we just go back to even just that other comment, right? How can you say that about him and think that at the same time? I don't know. Can those things be mutually exclusive? I don't think so, but maybe I could be wrong. I don't believe that he thought this during the filming of it. I believe he has come up with this after the fact. I also think that he's come up with this because he just wants it to be an anti-gun message. And I think that those things are absolutely ridiculous because Luke Skywalker would not be stupid enough to leave his lightsaber lying around to the point where the kid just or whatever. Right? So that alone destroys the character of Luke Skywalker in saying that that's how you would justify him going the way that he goes. I also think that with how dark this is where this man's mind goes. Like I said, something in the last 5 to 10 years has destroyed this man's brain, the cult of wokeness and all of that crap, to the point where everything and every dream or everything that you can think up in your head is doom and gloom. There's no positivity in that whatsoever. Now, I don't know how you try and pull some positivity out of like the result of Jake Skywalker, right, to get to that. But even still. And the last thing is that I'll say is this is just such a cliche. I'm going to reference Stargate again. Jack's kid shoots himself. Jack goes fucking suicidal, really, and gets called back. And that part of his life and the amount of stuff that you get from SG1 for that and the closure in that is great too, right? And this is just there like to fill a gap. This is where no thought. You really think that Rian Johnson put a thought process into why Luke Skywalker got to the point that he got to? Fuck no. You just mentioned at the end of that you think that, oh, Ryan just didn't have time to tell the backstory of why Luke would do this. But, you know, this could be a possibility that this is what the backstory was. I don't know. Wouldn't you think that if that was the case too, that, you know, even when he projects himself to Leia, he would have said, oh, I couldn't do anything to stop, I hate using this name, but Ben Skywalker, my son, I couldn't stop him from killing himself with a lightsaber. Or so, like, even just referencing that. There's no reference of why Luke deserts himself and cuts himself off from the Force and all of that shit. That is so true. They gave a fuck, though. I've actually got to go back and rewatch Anna's stream. If you don't know, Anna did a stream and like a bit of an interview thing with, I believe it was one of the creators of Stargate SG-1 or was involved in it in some way. I honestly, I've been so busy that I just saw and somebody tagged me in something and I don't even know who it was. So I've got to go back and actually watch that. Because I love Stargate, man. Stargate's the last true thing that hasn't had a remake or a continuation of the story or anything that has actually retroactively destroyed what came before. And saying that, now that I'm saying that, I'm really scared. Because wasn't there rumors going around that they were doing some Stargate reboot or something? Something. I don't know. Oh, dude. Yeah, we talked about the throne room scene earlier. Oh, man. Rose Tico alone. Don't fight for what you hate. Fight for what you love or some shit. Stargate Origins was bogus. Is that the game? Oh, see, that was my stomach. Huh, I've never seen Stargate Origins. Wow, I didn't even know that was a thing. TV series from 2018 to 2021. Maybe based on what you're saying, I'm kind of glad I haven't watched it. And that's a shame, though, because the origins of Stargate wouldn't be too bad. Although the thing is something like that, you don't really need that, because throughout SG-1, we kind of learnt the origins of the Stargates and how the ancients were the ones that created it, and the Gould were the ones that basically just use and steal the technology and just use it. We don't really need an origin story. It's just good to move forward. You know, the thing that, and I've said this before, season 5, man, is packed with so much shit. There's so much, and when I say shit, like good stuff. But you know what I really, really love is the SGC is a character in itself. Like the advancements that they make in the SGC, what they learn from all their missions, they reference it constantly. It's fucking fantastic, right? You know, I watch it with a mate of mine, and it's so funny. Sometimes I'll be like, I'll pause for a second. I'll be like, or like, I won't pause. I'll be like, hey, do you remember that person, or do you remember what they're talking about? And be like, not really. And I'll pause and I'll like go back, and I'll sort of not go back, but I'll just explain quickly to him. Be like, do you remember this episode? Blah, 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 blah. And this happens. And he's like, oh yeah, that's right. No, I do remember that. And then I'll push play. And then as soon as I push play, they're basically given him that reference in the show. I didn't need to do that, technically. I mean, I will say, my mate, when it comes to absorbing that kind of information, even the little reference that they might give on it, he might miss it. But in saying that, it's that good that it does that. That's called continuity. That's called canon. That's the law that's created within the universe, what we know the characters to know. But like, there was an episode in season 5 where they launch missiles now through the Stargate, and they come down from the ceiling, and then the 2 missiles come down, and then they launch them through the Stargate, right? And they got the target, the beam that goes through the Stargate, and they're actually able to target with a laser through the Stargate for these missiles, laser-guided missiles. We've never seen that being used in the Stargate, in the SGC before. The SGC is advancing. It's getting bigger. It's you know, from when season 1, right? And the technology that they've got, they don't even have like a blast shield. They don't have the iris. They don't have. There's so much that they don't have. We've just had in this one. We've just had the Nequadria, you know, which is then what allows them to make starships that can travel through hyperspace, whatever. Right? The Earth, the SGC, is a character in itself in Stargate. Yeah, you've got the individual characters, but it's so cool to see it. You know, we just finished season 5, and of course Daniel ascends at the end of season 5. One of the saddest episodes, actually, out of all of them. In fact, there is one other episode that I absolutely love, and it is sort of a little bit kind of filler, but maybe not, actually. I think it's Ball captures Jack, and he's being tortured and revived and tortured and revived and tortured and revived. And he keeps going into that cell where the cell sort of, they put him into the cell, and then like it sort of almost lifts, and he's at the bottom of the cell, but you know, you can't get to the top. And then it kind of comes down like that. And then he can walk out and go and get tortured some more and come back in, and they do that. And there's Daniel that's showing up being from Ascension and, trying to help Jack through this. And, Jack is just like, get me the fuck out of here. Like, why aren't you just getting me out of here? You can get me out of here. And he's like, I can't. Like, that's not what a part of Ascension is. Like, I'm not supposed to get him, So, like, there's so much good shit. So, Anna did a Stargate review before you did, yeah. Yeah, that's a great episode. It is, isn't it? The thing that I actually kind of don't really like is from like almost sort of season 5, maybe a little bit of like season 4. They kind of make Jack a bit of the butt of a lot of jokes. And when he's in his serious moments, very serious, very good, very based. But when they're not so serious moments, some of his comments start coming across. It felt like they tried to ramp it up a little bit. And the funny thing is too, is you can also see, and I don't know whether or not they actually did or not, but you can almost see like a budget increase from like season 2 going into season 3. And then probably even more so in season 5. Like they probably got an even bigger budget increase for moving from season 5 through to season 10. Because it just starts to look better and better and better as it goes too. I mean, look, it could be the advances in time in the technology over that time period. I mean, you're talking 10 seasons, 10 years, and then all the extended stuff after that. But yeah. Window of Opportunity, funniest episode ever. Is that the one where it's like the Groundhog Day, where they relive, Jack and Teal'c are reliving the same day over and over again? You know, the thing that I love about that episode is that you see so many times before you see what happens to Teal'c, but you see Jack and he's having this conversation with fucking Daniel, and all you get is the end of the question. You don't have any reference in regards to what the question's about. You just get the end of the question and he's eating his cereal. And you see that like for the first few like resets. And then it finally gets, because Jack and Teal'c are talking and he's like, what happens to you? And every time he resets, he's being hit in the head with the door. And there's like a little montage where he's like, what happened? Like he pushes the guy through the door. And oh man, I love that episode. I don't know if that's that same episode or if the Window of Opportunity. The only reason why I think it's not the episode that I was talking about before with Jack and Daniel while he's ascended is because you say it's the funniest episode ever. Yeah, that. Yes. During my backswing. That's the one. Yep. Groundhog Day. So good. Fantastic. All right, we're nearly all wrapped up here. I did want to at least go the 2 hours. I didn't think we'd make it there. When we basically started talking about, I think, Superman, we were only at like hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes in. And I know these streams have been a little bit shorter in more recent times, just because there's really been nothing to sort of break down. We're going to talk about, I haven't watched the last episodes of Ironheart. Actually, Ironheart's in the thing. So just in regards to Ironheart, let me talk about this really quickly before we get into Seal of the Week and sort of start wrapping up the stream. I watched the first week block. Is it 3 episodes and 3 episodes? I think that's right. I watched the first 3 episodes of Ironheart and it was hard to watch. I know that like there's stuff out there that can be like really cringy and really bad, but really enjoyable to watch because of how bad it is. Like how the EFAP guys feel about something like Batwoman, I think it was. That's not this for me. I cringe hard watching this. I am so... I'm not looking forward to watching the last couple of episodes. In fact, those first 3, I watched the first episode and I literally sat there and watched the whole thing. Second episode, I sort of grabbed my phone a little bit. I was watching, still doing some stuff on my phone. Third episode, I was barely listening to it. I didn't even know that Riri saw 2 people die. You know, in that last block of episodes. Man, I feel bad for you, Rhino, watching that. It's a choice, man. Don't feel bad for me. I can say no if I really want to say no. Funny thing is I might still say no to the last couple. Like, even on Flashcast last week, we did talk about it, but it was, what, half an hour of the show? You know, I don't know. We'll see. But it's not good. It's not good. And this, what, closes off the 5th phase of the MCU? Getting ready for phase 6. In all honesty, it's horrible that they actually need to do this. They need to reset the whole thing, like reboot, start again. You know, essentially let us have those first 3 phases up to Endgame. That closes that story, and then just start again. I just don't know how else to do it. Where's your pet emu? He's, I don't know, out gallivanting. I like saying I had a pet kangaroo. I had a pet kangaroo, and instead of catching the school bus to school because I couldn't afford a ticket, I just rode my kangaroo's pouch to school. I've watched other videos of people watching it, and man, I felt bad for them, but I know you guys do this to warn others of how bad these shows are. It's true. It is very true. And I think that in the current culture, and I sort of referenced this a little bit earlier, you need now people doing this. Because the funny thing is that the studios need people doing this. The problem is the studios need to release something good so that when the word of mouth comes, they're actually saying that it's good, as opposed to, saying that it's bad, don't waste your money on it. Because that's what a lot of people are now doing. You have burnt the fans so many times, Disney, Universal, fucking all of you massive studios out there, right? You have burnt your customers so much in the last 10 years that they are willing to wait for their favorite YouTubers that tend to think the same way that they do. That's what happens with that, right? They'd rather wait for their favorite YouTubers to tell them whether or not they think it's good or bad to determine whether or not they're going to waste money on it or not. So believe it or not, Disney, as much as you hate, and to the other the shills and seals out there, you're just as important. It's retarded and stupid, but you are important to those studios just as much as, the detractors are to the fans. I'm not one to pull my own chain or whatever the fuck, right? But I feel that what I do when it comes to covering Disney Star Wars is important to some extent. I enjoy doing it. I get pissed off here and there, which is always fun for you guys to watch. But again, we can all now make a determination that for something like Disney Star Wars. Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars, and we've still got Star Wars. It's all here. You can have a chain in Australia. Yeah. It's a bike chain. It's fucking nothing. No, we got chains. But yes, pull my own chain. But yeah, Ironheart, fucking what a disaster that is. I thought I saw a bit of fucking hair, fucking white cat hair everywhere. Yes. I mean, look, I was excited to see this movie before it came out, all the lead up to it and everything. I haven't had an opportunity yet to go and see it, but I do definitely want to go and see it in theaters. And the word of mouth is just making me even more excited to go and see it. That's what you want. But I tell you what, I was excited to go and see this movie. Really excited to go and see this movie. Now, being that it's not necessarily in the nerd or superhero genre, it's more that sports sort of genre and everything, I would wait to see a few more different people's maybe thoughts on it, a bit more broader view of it, right? But let's say I was hyped for it, and all the people that I do trust and do, and they're breaking it down and going, yeah, this part of the story was a bit dodgy, right? This part of it was cringy. This was bad. This wasn't great. There was some good parts to it, and yeah, it looked good and blah, 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 but this wasn't really that good, blah, blah, blah. That would probably make me go, okay, maybe I will wait. But the fact that they're out there saying, hey, this is nothing special. It's fun. Yes, it's a bit like Top Gun on a racetrack, right? But the effects look great. The story elements, they fit. It's based on real events, I believe. It's like the semi-true story in here, isn't there? And then they go on to say, if you're going to go and see this, go and see it in IMAX. It's good enough to go and see in IMAX, and it would probably be better to see it in IMAX. That hypes me for this movie. And I was about to say ancient. Arctic Warriors. How you doing? Fucking my dyslexia kicking in hard. All right, let's do yes, see it in IMAX. There you go. I mean, Top Gun Maverick's a good example of that. It made $1 billion. And I think after everybody saw it and everybody's coming out of theaters going, man, that was fun. That was awesome. I think that would have been more impactful if Maverick actually did die, to be fair. All right, let's do Seal of the Week. But before we do, I need to, I really want this anymore. I just need something. Give me a sec, guys. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. We've got 37 people watching. Be awesome if you could hang around. If you aren't subscribed, please do consider subscribing. At the moment, this is pretty much what I do on the channel is just this sort of live stream at the moment. I'm hoping and planning in the future to maybe start bringing some videos back. There'll be coverage of Star Wars stuff over time, like Mandalorian and Grogu. When that comes out, I'll be sailing the high seas, but I will, do a review on that and all of that sort of thing. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Smash that like button, all the good shit. We're going to give you a little clip here while I might duck to the bathroom quickly as well. Let's play a couple of clips. See if we can get them all out.
either want Disney Star Wars to fail, or you don't.
Sometimes people just need some space.
There are Lucas facts, and then there is cringe factor.
Explore the adherence to canon, continuity, and lore.
We have more fun ripping Disney Star Wars than the shills do enjoying it. And that triggers them.
I was just thinking, I came running over to just click on another clip really quickly. And I just thought to myself, if I play this clip, that idiot in the chat is going to think that I think that Disney Star Wars is real Star Wars. But
that's not how the Force works.
That must mean that I love The Force Awakens, right? You're going to get Mozza farting.
Oh, Mozza, read that.
So
Mozza, don't let the American bitch.
Did you just fart?
Yes, I did. Tell you what to do. I think it's bedtime, Mozza. Question mark. I think it's bedtime for Mozza. That's that's the type of videos that we watch on fucking Happy Hump Day.
I can't pee. Oh my god.
All right. Oh, I forgot to mute my fucking microphone. How's that? Hope you didn't hear me pissing then. All right. We are back, baby. That's better. Although it's a little flat. Anyway, all right, here we go. Seal of the week, guys. Let's do this.
Hamill the Jedi.
Let me just, sorry, I didn't even look at the chat. I had it on my clips page, but a couple of things just quickly. Yes, I have finished my reread of it. We do need to get together. We need to work that out. Happy 4th of July. Yes, happy 4th of July. And God bless everyone. God bless America. We need a strong America. Happy 4th of July. Was that Blabs? Yes, that was Blabs when she came to Australia. And we did MozzaCon. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, we had a great time. It was awesome. And I love Blabs. She's cool. She's really cool. I think that's fine. Yeah. All right, let's bring this up. So we're going to start with, it's a pretty simple one. Star Wars Explained gets nominee number 1 this week. Star Wars Explained is basically currently reading a Bad Batch novel. I'm guessing that this has to be, yeah, of course. It's got Omega on the cover. Disney Star Wars book. So yeah, there's that. That's nominee number 1. It was a simple one, but it's still, pushing Disney Star Wars. Then you've got J.I. Acob. Now, there was one that Mike Hill sent to me, and I was going to use that one. And I thought I'd just go to his page, and I just thought I'd bring this up instead because I thought this was kind of funny. Whoa, I just had a head spin. The one that Mike sent to me was just the fact that he said that he reread the Rise of Skywalker novelization today. And he read the entire book in a day. Man, either you got way too much time on your hands and you can speed read, or you're full of shit. And I think the latter is the correct one. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up was because he retweeted himself. He retweeted himself from 2016, mind you. So on the 20th of June, 2016, he wrote, "So I'm 99.9% sure that Rey is Emperor Palpatine's descendant of some way, in some way, shape, or form. Of some way, shape, or form. Seriously, think about it." And then repost this. When was this? Yesterday. Saying, what did he see? Like talking about Luke. Like, what did he see in Kylo Ren's head? See, the thing that doesn't really add up with this is like what you're trying to imply by this, Jacob, is that he saw something to do with Rey in all of that. And if his reaction to what he saw was to kill his nephew in his sleep, when Rey shows up, his first instinct would be what? So this is where, like, you guys, when you think about this stuff and everything, you don't really think. You just go with what you hope is the case, what you want to see, and that's good enough. And my headcanon can fill in the rest. Whereas, like, for anybody else that starts thinking about this and you start actually going through to the result of it, the conclusion, the outcome, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. You can't make sense of it. So anyway, Jacob, for either or really, if you want to take on board what I said earlier, actually, I'll bring it up. I'll show you. We'll give him a double chance to basically win. Hey, I'm pretty sure it was Mike that sent it to me. Yeah, here it is. It's also really long, and I don't like reading long things, but fuck it. Well, what happened there? Reread the expanded novelization. It's the way that fucking... Anyway, reread the expanded novelization for The Rise of Skywalker earlier today, and forgot just how great this adaptation truly was. You read the whole book earlier today? The whole thing. I mean, look, he hasn't specifically worded and said the whole thing, but he's reread the novelization of The Rise of Skywalker earlier today. And like the way that he talks about it, whether you love or loathe this film, it makes the ending of the saga's finale even better. and was a lot more emotional of a read than I remembered. I guess it's only fitting that one of my favorite Star Wars books is the novelization of one of my favorite Star Wars films. But I highly recommend giving this a read if you haven't already. I don't even think you've read it. I don't even think you've read it. And look, if you have read it, I like it's probably audiobook. You've got the hardcover, you've got the book in your hand, but I still think it would just be audiobook. And even an audiobook to listen to, like an entire audiobook in a day, man, you need like 13 hours. That's the thing. For you to listen to an audiobook, there you go. Rise of Skywalker audiobook, 9 hours, 36 minutes. Like, I mean, okay, for an audiobook to be read to me, this audiobook would take 9 hours and 36 minutes. For me to read this book, right, would take, if I did it in like sitting down and actually reading it, at least double that. My reading's not good. Like, you see, I fucking struggle reading that. You know, it's embarrassing and I fucking hate it. I hate my dyslexia. And sometimes it comes out stronger than other times. Fucking weird. I can't explain it. Fucking becoming an old man, and I'm, you know, it's just the way it is. But there's no way that you either reread it and listened to it or reread it and read it. There's no way that you did that in a day. This guy's just full of shit. So Jacob, essentially, you can give him 2 noms there, except we'll just make it 1. So you can pick which one. He's probably going to win just based on the fact that he gets 2 there. Star Wars Explained is really a nothing burger, just the fact that they're currently reading the this Bad Batch book. But then you've also got Dan. Dan with another nominee. Now, this is obviously a quote tweet of something else. So, listing as orange red on Wikipedia, and in every picture of Balin with a lightsaber on his Wook page, fuck Jesus, it looks orange. So there was a big thing about the lightsabers and everything being orange and blah 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 blah. This is this is a little bit different. This is a seal getting pissed off with we'll say with very loosely, the lore that Disney Star Wars has created around these lightsabers, making Balin and Shin's lightsaber making Balin and Shin's lightsabers only kind of orange while still looking red half the time was such a bad move. Commit to the orange or don't do it at all. To me, I've got sort of a small, I sort of half agree. Like, either commit to a color or don't commit to the color. I don't give a fuck. It's Disney. Star Wars is bullshit anyway. But at the same time, like, you know, there's so much more wrong with the Ahsoka stuff than the colors of the lightsabers. And it's just funny to me that the colors of the lightsabers is what this person has a problem with when it comes to the show. And the only things that really people got excited for was when he vaded or it was red. Like that's it. You know, it's those things that they really concentrate on. So anyway, there are your 3 nominees for this week. You've got Star Wars Explained. You've got Jacob, who's probably going to win with a double post in there. And then you've got Dan, which I don't really know how to take this one. But we're going to put the poll in the chat. You got your 3 nominees there. Get your votes in. So just to go through them again, we've got Star Wars Explained. Got nominee number 1, Jacob. Nominee number 2, and Dan, nominee number 3. It's 352 pages. Hey, purist, you got a mirror? Because I want to see if I look like I give a shit. No, like not at you. Just the fucking fact that that book is even a fucking book. Didn't they? Oh, no, it wasn't that one. It wasn't that one. It was the... I can't remember. Is it referenced in The Last Jedi novelization? Or is it actually referenced in the Force Awakens novelization where the downloading of Kylo's training is referenced? Because that's interesting and relevant to the fact that did they do it retroactively? So, like, they released it. Everybody's calling Raya Mary Sue and she hasn't been trained and all of this kind of stuff. They see the backlash to that, and then they reference it in the novelization of The Last Jedi to try and save face and, damage control that situation. Or was it in the actual novelization of TFA, The Force Awakens, in that actual scene when he is force torturing her? Pretty sure that's in TFA one. Okay. Haven't read it. I honestly thought it was in TLJ. You know what I'm saying, though? If it was in TLJ, then they obviously saw what the problems were and they tried to fix it through that book. Whereas if they did it in in how long after the movie did the book come out? The Force Awakens. Could have been even a rewrite too, even if, let's say, they were close to finishing the novelization of it. Let me check something. Okay. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just look at something. Okay, well, it could be either way then. So The Force Awakens came out December 17th, 2015. And the novelization dropped January 5th, 2016. So it was literally, like 3 weeks, not even, 2 weeks after. Like, they could have retroactively added that in. But the thing is that there wasn't a massive amount of backlash to Rey's abilities straight away. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there was some out there, especially from people like Ryan who hated it straight away. But, like, I think everybody was, like, willing to wait and see what the explanation was for why she was so powerful. But it never came. So after TLJ, it was kind of like, well, this is just a Mary Sue, and how ridiculous is that? So I don't know whether or not it was in response to the backlash that they added that fact in, that she downloaded his. Although I do remember it coming out after everybody was talking about it, so I didn't think The Last Jedi came out. Sorry, The Force Awakens book came out so quickly after the movie. Anyway, it obviously did. How are we going on this poll ladies and gentlemen. We got 16 votes. We've got 16 votes. We got 41 people watching. Come on, lurkers. A couple of you out there can just click on a vote. Who do you want? You've got Star Wars Explained, reading the Bad Batch novel. You've got J.I. Acob, who is either like just quote tweeting himself, trying to give himself props and a pat on the back, or the fact that he apparently reread fucking The Rise of Skywalker in a day, 9-hour audiobook in a day. And then you've got Dan, who's a little bit upset at the fact that they didn't just pick a color when it comes to the color of the lightsaber, orange or red. Well, this is the one thing that I will say in regards to that, Dan, is they did pick a color. They're always the same color. I think it depends on the lighting of the set, determines how you see the color. Do you ever remember that fucking thing going around where it was like, what's the color of the dress? Is it black and gold or blue and white? Or, you remember that? Tell me you guys remember that. And everybody was going nuts. Like, no, it's black and gold. And then the other side's going, no, it's blue and white. What are you talking about? Where's the black and gold? Where's the blue and white? Like, come on. Everybody remembers that. Blue and black. I can't remember the exact combinations of colors, but you remember what I'm talking about, right? I think it's kind of similar for something like this. The orange that they're using, it's a bright orange, right? I don't know how you make it more orange, if you know what I'm saying, to make it look more orange. It's orange. It just, in some lights, it kind of looks red. You know what I'm saying? Like, does it look orange there? It certainly doesn't look like the blood red that we're used to. So there's a difference there. Same sort of thing. There, it probably actually looks a little bit more red there. But still not that blood red that we're used to with the Sith lightsaber. And there, same. Like, I don't understand. The color was consistent throughout the show. I don't know what you're complaining about. Anyway, I think we've got a winner because it's basically a landslide. One more? Can we get one more vote? We're on 19. We've got to at least hit 20. 50% of the audience that's here. Surely we can get one more vote. Hey Siri, set a timer for 20 seconds.
20 seconds starting now.
We got 20 seconds to get to 20 votes. Oh, we got to 20 votes. Oh, we got 10 seconds to get any more. 2, 1. We are done. We got 21. Nice. Whoever got that last vote in there. We're ending the poll. And I think we all knew who was going to win this week in a fucking massive landslide too. In third place with 4% of the vote was number 3. Dan, sorry, you get knocked out this week. In second place with 28% of the vote was Explained. Good effort, not good enough. J.I. Acob, I don't care which one you guys picked it for. He deserves it. He deserves it. He read an entire book in a day and talking about how good it is, and then he's trying to give himself props. It's like, come on, man. Anyway, with 66% of the vote, J.I. Acob, you are this week's Seal of the Week. Congratulations.
Hamill the Jedi.
I think I remember seeing it as blue and black too. What dress? Let me see. How will it come up on a stream, do you reckon? Would I type in blue and black dress? It's the first fucking thing that comes up. Yeah. Yeah, this dress thing went fucking viral. It went around the world and was fucking viral. Can I get just an image of just the dress without all these other fucking dresses? No? I'll just move this over. Fuck it. So it's kind of weird the way that I'm seeing it now. It's not good. But this was what it was. Let me share this anyway. Was it in the 90s or was it in the... No, it would have been... It's the era of the internet. So it would have been like the, 2000s or something. This dress made it around the internet, around the world. And some people were saying that it was gold and white. And some people were saying that it was blue and black. Now that I'm seeing this now, like that there looks gold and white. Obviously, that over there is blue and black. But this was the whole thing. I think that it went... Yeah, see, like... I think there might have been something to do with the lighting as well. I see it as white and gold. That there. What do you guys see that image as? I know it's small and probably a little bit distracting by the amount of blue and black and white and gold that we're seeing throughout all of this. But if you could isolate that image there, what do you see? I see gold and white. But I remember seeing it. I remember back when it was like the thing that was going on. I'm certain I remember seeing it as black and blue. So, anyway, that's the dress for that person. I think it was Arctic Warriors was asking what dress. That was the dress. And we are all done. Congratulations, Jacob, on your Seal of the Week win. I think we're all caught up with Super Chats and members. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Appreciate all of you. To the members, appreciate your ongoing support. Some of you have been around a fucking long time, and I really do appreciate that. To Gabriel Knight and SWA for gifting some memberships, I really appreciate that. OG Star Wars for the super sticker. RIP Star Wars for his super chat, and also Nolan for the monster $50 super chat. I really appreciate that, and we'll have a shot for you on Flashcast for that as well. Thank you guys for your support. Everyone else that has just been hanging out, lurking, shit like that. I appreciate you guys just as much. Thank you for your ongoing support. Please do smash the like button on your way out, and of course, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. You can catch me on Flashcast this weekend. It should be a lot of fun getting drunk again. Hopefully it's not too much too quickly, because I just want I get too fucked up too quick, and then shit just goes stupid. If I could pace it out a little bit, maybe we'll see. Anyway, we still have a lot of fun despite the drinking. What else? If the Jack Show's still going, Sol, are you in the chat? If the Jack Show's still going, can you drop that link for us? That'd be appreciated. Hopefully by next week I'll have seen F1. I really want to go see that. Anyway, that's it. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. We will see you next week for another Casual Rage. And, yeah. May the force be with you, I guess. The real force. Later.
That's not how the Force works.
I don't care!
You'd better put a chick in it. And make it fucking gay as fuck.
Going somewhere?
And I want it lame!
Put her on a path of her own choosing, so that no matter which direction she takes, we'll always be one step ahead of her.
What?
That is so lame!
Yeah, I think I remember seeing the movie. There's one scene that sticks out, and it probably sticks out for everybody, which is that, have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
They came bounding over.
Fuck off! Disney! You fucking cunt!
A few minutes? Are you kidding? At the rate they're gaining?
No, what is it? You have to shoot this. Traveling through hyperspace is like dusting crops, kid. Without precise calculations, we fly too close to a store. They're bounce into a supermarket and then...
Happy 4th of July, everyone.
Watch.
Have a good Independence Day.
Go strap yourselves in. Be careful on the way out.
Yeah, sure. I'm taking it very cautiously.
You go away.
Bounce too near a supermarket?